Hey guys, my name is JP McDaniel, and I am the host, creator, and a member of the RollPlay Dark Heresy group. I've been a content creator at twitch.tv for around 2.5 years now, and 6 months ago decided to move over to YouTube and start taking it seriously. RollPlay originally started out as a Dungeons and Dragons show, and we just wrapped up week number 26 of that show earlier today. After its success around a month ago, I decided why not start up a second campaign. I contacted TotalBiscuit, he seemed interested. We got In.Control, already a member of the other roleplay show, and djWheat, who immediately signed on to do it. And we had our 4 cast members. Still needed a DM, so we took to Twitter and got very lucky finding Steven Lumpkin, who is of course our current DM. And I cannot say how lucky we are to have found him. He is quite fantastic. We are all very, very excited to step into his world whenever we can, which is, of course, why you guys are here, because week 2 of Dark Heresy has finally been recorded. Any episodes following this can be found over at youtube.com/itmejp. TotalBiscuit is simply doing me a favor and allowing me to post this on his YouTube. The Dark Heresy VODs are going to be uploaded every day over at youtube.com/itmejp at noon Eastern. If you want to skip the wait and support me as well, you can subscribe to my Twitch over at twitch.tv/itmejp. This will get you access to both role plays as well as any other content that I stream on Twitch TV as soon as it goes offline. You'll also get a chat emoticon and some emoticons that are role play that can be used on the Twitch site pretty much anywhere in whoever's channel you're in. We also do subscriber giveaways from time to time on the weekends. If you're new to my YouTube and really wondering what it consists of, it houses both roleplay series as well as another series called JPOV, which is, to be honest, my WTF is of console and PC games, as well as other shows like 8 Bits, which is my weekly gaming podcast that I do with djWheat. That's enough for me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and let you watch week number 2 of Dark Heresy. Remember, this is only the first hour of the show. If you do want to watch more, you need to head on over to youtube.com/itmejp. Thanks, and enjoy the show. What is up, guys? Welcome to Roleplay Dark Heresy. My name is JP McDaniel, and it has been about 35 days, I think is what someone said in the chat, since we last played. Did not anticipate it to take this long for the second week of the show, but regardless, we're back, and let's run through the cast here. We've got Jeff Robinson, also known as In.Control. His character's name, I think, is Jax, if I remember correctly.
Jax Romulus.
Jax Romulus, there you go. We've got djWheat, a.k.a. Marcus Graham. His character's name is Frix Pilgrim. And
that's right.
The running
Frix
joke
12 Donuts Pilgrim.
The 12 Donuts Pilgrim. There you go. We've also got John Bain, a.k.a. TotalBiscuit. His character's name is Engelbart Kappa. Here, just put the faces in the chat. Let's get this over with. We'll get it done right at the top of the stream. And our game, is it Game Master or Dungeon? What did we settle with? Game Master?
I don't think we chose. I think technically for D&D you're a Dungeon Master. For other games, like in Vampire the Masquerade, you're a storyteller. Generally, it's Game Master.
Okay. Game Master. Game Master it is. We've got Steven Lumpkin all the way from Montreal, Canada. And do we have any things to talk about here at the top of the show? I mean, I even forgot what we were doing. We were like searching for someone.
Yeah. I'll give you an overview of what happened last time. Well, actually, I'll ask you guys what you remember from last time. How about that?
Epic battle, including shotguns to the back of a spine, grenades in mouths.
Multiple grenades, yeah.
Multiple grenades, lots of interrogation, lots of badassery. We then turned in the prisoner to our local arbitrage.
Mm-hmm.
And just before we ended, Frix Pilgrim had a dream where someone was getting swallowed by a big demon.
She was getting swallowed.
Yes,
yeah.
I saw an eye, or a mouth rather, a mouth that opened up to show me a lot of teeth, and then I woke up. I didn't feel so hot. Not sure if it was the dinner that we had.
So why were you going around shooting people? What the hell, guys?
Oh, you're pretending. Okay. We were in pursuit of a lead about a guy that was perhaps taking this fine material and we were sent to investigate like a 0.0001% mystery missing, basically, and we found this organization of people that were funding the rebellion.
Didn't it start out with some ore that TB said couldn't be there or something?
That's how they were funding I believe, the rebellion. Basically.
What was the name of the ore?
Samsonite.
Samsonite. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And we followed someone down a hallway and cover your ears, Engelbart. We pressed the button and got through I guess a shaft.
Heretics.
That's where we sort of discovered what was going on.
Your disrespect for the Omnisire will not be forgotten.
Oh Lord. I also remember at the start of last show we like made what are they called? Not ties, but basically like TB's pissed at me for something that I did to upset the Omnisire or something like that, and we have to resolve that and we can get XP for it. Is that right, Steven?
Yeah. So
I gotta find all those. I wrote
You've
them down
got
somewhere.
bonds with each other. There we go. That's a little better. So, real quick, can we just refresh exactly what those are for each other?
Yeah, I wrote them all down, but I don't. Is this it? Oh, sweet. Okay, I got them. Most of them.
Awesome. I have them all as well. So, Eli, what are your bonds?
So, TB or Engelbart owes me their life, whether they admit it or not. And Fricks is a liability, not an asset. For TB, I've insulted the Omnisire. TB doesn't trust me. I must figure out what it is I insulted. And Wheat said that I am blind to the terrors of the warp. He's going to open my eyes.
Cool.
I don't remember everyone else's. I just wrote down mine. Sorry.
Jax, do you have your bonds written down?
No.
I've got
I can
them
only
for
assume. Oh, okay, good.
Are you ready?
I was going to make them up. Yeah.
Your first bond is that Frick's pilgrim is soft, but you will make her hard like you.
I finished the story, right?
What?
It's perfect.
I don't remember the wording being quite like that.
I gotta
Is
get
that-
you on a treadmill and shit. I
I
understand.
was going to say it's
yeah.
pretty much a weight loss regime, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And you also, Jax, you know Engelbart's Kappa's secret, and you're watching him. Fricks, do you remember yours?
Yes. Thanks, JP already stole one of mine. Is Eli's blind to the terrors of the war. But the other one is that I received a premonition about Engelbart, and I believe that, although I find it hard to believe, I do believe that Engelbart will play an important role in all the events to come.
And Engelbart, do you remember yours?
Frankly, no.
Eli has insulted the Omnisire, and you don't trust him. And Jax Romulus meets only the basest definition of sentience and intelligence, and you will work to enlighten him.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah. So with that, let's talk really quick about XP and how you're going to earn it. So last time you just earned 200 XP for the session, which is one of the ways they suggest in the book. Another way is breaking down things that happen in-game for XP rewards, and that's what we're going to do. So at the end of every session, you're going to earn 100 XP just for playing. Then you're going to look at your bonds, and if one of them has been resolved, then ask the person if they agree that that bond no longer applies to your relationship with each other. If they agree, then mark it off of your character sheet and write a new bond, and you gain 50 XP for each of you if you resolve a bond. Then we'll answer the following 3 questions as a group, and for each yes you answer, you'll gain plus 50 XP. Question 1 is, did we establish a new alter ego, contact, or confidant? Question 2 is, did we discover an important new clue in our investigation? And question 3 is, did we eliminate a threat to the Imperium?
I think
So-
number 1 is a no. Number 2 and 3 are possible yeses.
Well, that was for last time. Last time you got 200 XP.
Yeah, we just got 200
for the
for
fun of
I
it. So
see.
we will go through this again at the end of this session and see how everybody feels about the questions.
Everyone answer yes.
Everyone just lie. Just lie. We did it all.
Wait,
We
free
did it.
XP?
He'll never know. Yeah.
So with that in line, everyone did kind of get their next rank in their specific classes for those watching and following along with the lore of that. I forget what the name of... Does anyone remember what they were and what they ranked up to? Because I don't.
I was like a recruit or something like that, and now I'm an enforcer.
Okay. Well, it doesn't much matter. Basically, we just get access to new talents, new skills that we can, of course, spend XP in. So our character just got better, basically.
Yeah. Eli, you were a Celestial, now you're a Shadesman. Engelbart, you were a Technographer, now you are a Mechwright. Arbitrace.
Neo.
Yeah. You were a Sanctionite last time, right?
Yeah, and it's like a Neo.
You're Neo now?
See.
A Neo.
He's a Neo.
I am Neo now.
I am the one.
You were a Sanctionite, now you're a Neonate.
Neonate. There it is.
Yeah.
All right.
And you were a Trooper last time.
Trooper.
Jax. Now you're an Enforcer.
There you go.
Awesome. So, yes, last time we were celebrating a festival for the Imperial Tithe. There were ships had descended all over the Hive City. The Hive City is called Eutraxis, and it's overseen by the planetary governor, whose name is Zarya Theopoia. And your Inquisitor, Hadrax Ishmael Ignatio Jacobim IV, sent you here to investigate a discrepancy in the tithe. So while you were at this festival, participating in shooting contests and, watching a melee, sort of a boxing contest, you noticed some strange magnetic disturbances, and you went to investigate them. And on the way, you found a bunch of servitors carrying crates of Samsonite away from Dock Delta 47 to an underground sort of maintenance pass where you got into a shootout with a couple of local citizens. You managed to capture one of them, turn them into the Arbitrace, and find out about Dock Delta 47. But when you got there, all the ships had already taken off back to the orbiting Tithe ships. And that was kind of a dead end for the evening. You had resolved to visit the Navigators Guild and try to get cargo manifests for all of the ships and see if you could figure out some extra information from that. So it's the next morning. The hall lights brighten up from their very dim dark red overnight color to a much brighter yellow-white. And what are you guys going to do today?
Well, before we get started, I'd like to know if perhaps I could actually sneak into Eli's room, and I would like to just be looking down upon him when he wakes up.
All right. Let's see. Give me an agility roll, an agility test.
Okay.
Are you like what kind of armor are you wearing? Let me see. You're wearing a chain coat. Are you wearing your chain coat when you go sneak over to where Eli is sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me an agility test if you would.
Okay. And so that's 1D.
1D100.
1D100. Okay. Okay.
Whoa.
All right. So, Eli, would you make a perception test with your perception at a -20?
Okay, so that is basically just roll D100 and compare it to my perception. All right. 72.
All right.
Yeah, so my perception's 35.
Which means it's a 15 for the purposes of sleeping Eli. Yeah, Fricks, you punch the panel on Eli's door. It hisses open. You step in, clank, 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 and you go stand over next to Eli, who just kind of snores and like rolls over.
That's fine. That's
right.
fine. The moment that he snores and rolls over, I say, Eli, I feel like you don't quite understand the terrors that exist beyond the world that you see. And what I'm talking about is the warp. And last night, I had a very, very disturbing vision that involved a lizard mouth and orange glows and teeth that could rip your neck open. And I need you to understand that the terrors of the warp are real.
Eli, do you wake up?
No, I hear this, and I immediately am drawn back to my mother trying to wake me up in the noble place that I grew up in. And I'm just like, Mom, shut up! I want to sleep more.
Awesome. So that's Eli's response to you.
That's my response.
Fricks.
Sweet.
Well,
Trained
Eli,
assassin.
Reflexes like a cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, you catch me sleeping. It's not going to go.
all right.
for me.
Well, I'll try again some other time, I guess, Eli. All right, I'm disgusted with Eli, and I just leave the room again.
Door hisses open.
I don't close the door.
All right, door hisses open. It stays open. Fricks wanders out. Eventually, you all wake up. Eli wakes up to having awoken from a very distressing dream where like someone dressed like his mother, but like morbidly obese, was like dusting his bed and like talking about mouths. It was disturbing.
Yeah, and then Eli says, "God, is that the terror of the war?"
The terror of the war is my
This must be what it
overweight
feels like.
mother. Exactly. Exactly.
So where are you guys meeting up in the morning?
We're on our ship, right?
No, you're in a hive
No.
city on the surface
Hive
of the
City.
planet. So what this is it's
Complimentary breakfast, right? Like that's where we agreed.
God, what is your obsession with food? Jesus. God, all the time.
Eli this morning. I'm hungry already.
I woke up quite a bit earlier because I'm from the Catch Can planet, and they're all farmers, basically, or Hicks. And I already went to, and TB helped me with this, the Astropathic, or what are they called?
the
What,
Navigators Guild.
Astropaths Guild? Well, the
No.
astropaths are not the same as navigators.
The guy I would go to send a message, they call him something.
Astropath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
An astropath. I went to the local astropath. It's accessible by the Arbitage, and I relayed all the information that we just did to our Inquisitor,
Okay.
who simply allows me to call him our Inquisitor. It's a weird friendship thing that we have. And then I just kind of circled back, and I'm waiting for the other guys to wake up, and I'm doing a morning regiment of caffeine, or what do they call it? Is it just called caffeine?
Yeah.
Their coffee.
It's just called caffeine.
Yeah, I'm just drinking my caffeine and smoking a couple low sticks. I think it's an L, right?
It is an L.
Yeah. Okay. So low sticks and reading the local, paper basically.
The morning data slate.
Right.
Very cool. Well, are you hanging out at like the sort of dive bar that you guys were at last night?
I imagine if that's the place closest to where we were sleeping. Yeah.
It's pretty nearby. TotalBiscuit, what do you think this dive bar is called?
I don't have a clue. I wasn't paying attention.
He's asking me to name it.
I'm asking you to make it up.
Yeah.
Make it up. Mm.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I got nothing.
I don't know. It's just called. It's called like Reichheltz or something.
Reichheltz?
Yeah.
That sounds Xenos. I'm not killed with that.
Well, then you should have said something earlier, shouldn't you? When it was named.
Well, I'm not the one
You guys-
suggesting the Xenos names.
You guys
Right,
can
Cal,
all.
this guy's
Don't,
name.
hey, I pull out a matchbook and it clearly says the naked donut right there
God damn it.
on the thing.
Sure.
The naked
Reichheltz,
donut.
a.k.a. the Naked Donut.
That's what the locals call it.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're staying in the residential block that's run by the Ophaly family, so it's a little more upscale. But Reichheltz is very clearly sort of the seedy area. You can get a breakfast for pretty cheap, just a couple thrown gelt and drink it down. So you've all met up here now by now. It's probably like 9:30 a.m. Eli's finally rolled out of bed.
Yeah, I got up last for sure.
So what's the plan?
So they just kind of wake up and wander into Reichheltz.
Yeah.
Sit down at the table, I guess, with you.
I've relayed all the information to the Inquisitor, but I'm not sure of our next move. Out of game, I guess. I feel like we interrogated him and got some information. Like we're supposed to go somewhere next, right?
We know where the manifests are. Is that still what we want to do? Do we still want to go to the office and look at the manifest of the ship to determine that the Samsonite was on it?
Right.
Well, it would frankly make the most sense. There's no point in waiting for a response via Astropath. It could take weeks.
Sure.
There's no point waiting for the local arbitrator's office, because if they were competent in the first place, we wouldn't be here.
Ooh.
True enough. So we in agreement then? Should we do that?
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Let's load up and get out of here.
Cool. So, Jax, you know where the local Navigators Guild is. And I do too. Good. Yeah, the local Navigator house is House Atriclus, and it's located in a housing block in the spire of the Hive City. Now, the Hive City itself is like, it probably encompasses something like 50 miles on the ground, and it spires up probably 7 miles in the air. And or 7 kilometers in the air. And it houses, I think, 6 billion people. So the transportation systems to get through it are convoluted and arcane. There are a couple of freight elevators you could take. You could try to find some service tunnels. You could go via the accepted routes, the major thoroughfares that lead you through the city, though you might have to make your way through a couple security checkpoints since you're going up the spire into more and more secure and more high-class areas of the city. Or you could try doing what the locals do, which is called riding the boars. There are a couple of grav freight boars that sort of drill a tunnel through the entire city, and they levitate you along at hundreds of kilometers an hour. And it's illegal to hop the boars, but a number of locals do it, and they have specialized equipment to take care of that.
I recommend that we just flash our
Yeah,
identification and go.
we can just throw security and take the elevator.
All right, cool.
I
So
don't
you
want
make
to
your
die
way.
today. I want to risk fate on the.
This
the
seems a little
gravity.
conspicuous, don't you think?
What does?
Well, you're going to flash Inquisitorial ID around immediately and get in the most obvious place that you possibly could for transportation that may or may not be an ambush. Just
What do you
saying.
recommend then, friend?
Well, my suggestion would be that we take one of the more secure routes, and we would access said security system in order to do so. I do have the ability to bypass security.
Okay.
Just something a little bit less obvious, I think.
I think
Last thing
that's
we want
sound
to do
advice.
is announce that we're coming.
All right, sounds good to me. Sounds a better plan than. What
Do we
originally
know
had.
anything about these security checks at all? Are there manned security checks? Is it, as Engelbart suggests, something we can bypass electronically?
The security checks along the main thoroughfares are manned. They're manned by segments of the local arbitrates, except they are embedded within the noble houses in command of each segment of the Hive City. So they're not, like, Jax probably has a little bit of sway with them, but it might not go so far, simply because of the nature of these particular individuals. Those securities TB could not, or Engelbart could not bypass. However, Engelbart probably could ensure that the freight elevators carry you where you need to go, and could maybe even make sure that you're not monitored when you're using them.
Okay, well, let's do that. We'll let Engelbart do all the work.
All right.
All right, let's make our way, friends.
Do we have to do
So,
any preparations?
I look at Fricks and I say, "You got your guns?"
I'm good.
Okay, we're good. Let's go.
awesome. Does anybody have a navigation skill?
I don't.
I believe I have a stellar navigation skill.
We're not traveling amongst the stars currently.
Yes.
I do have navigation.
Awesome.
not
Surface
check mark.
navigation?
It just says navigation.
Yeah, but you can use that to try and find your way through the Hive City.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and roll. That's intelligence, right?
Yes.
Oh, this
Yeah.
will go well.
Nice.
Man, yeah, absolutely.
I tell it's 34, actually. It's quite high.
Yeah. The local arbitrates, you know, they don't skimp. Cool. Well, Jack says, you know, this way. He starts stalking off. And he leads you around a couple corners down through the massive dome that you were in yesterday, where there's a number of street vendors selling their wares in the morning. And he leads you over to a side port that's sealed shut. And he pulls out his Arbitrace badge and flashes it in front of a pad on the door, and it hisses open. And inside there is a freight elevator with a number of orange glowing lights blinking down at you. The inside is very dark. The floor is scraped and stained with a number of damages and random goods that have been transported on it.
All right, Mr. Kappa, I think this is where you step in, friend.
All right. Well, first things first, we need to figure out if there is actually any security on this whatsoever.
Are you just sort of examining the inside of the elevator to see what you can see?
Let's examine the control panel. Figure out exactly what it does, where it takes us.
Go ahead and roll a perception test, but give yourself a plus 30 to your perception.
All right. I think I'm fine.
Jesus.
All right. Yes. This freight elevator will take you as high as the noble level above House Ophilie, which is where you're at right now. It takes you up into House Phaedrus territory. And then from there, you'll probably have to hop out and try and find another elevator to take you up to House Atroclus, the local Navigators Guild. The elevator is monitored. There's a small pict sensor up in the upper right-hand corner, but you think you could probably disable it very easily.
Okay. Except for the fact that it's probably already seen us, considering we are now inside the elevator, right? Or are we outside the elevator?
You're inside of it, but you were just poking your head in.
Okay. So here's hoping that no one was paying attention.
If you wanted to, you could probably do a more complicated sort of work with the machine spirit and make it so that it never saw you in the first place.
Disabling it would be suspicious. If they saw that, they would send at least the servitor down to fix it up. That sounds like a pretty terrible idea, all things considered. We could probably bypass it to ensure that it is looping some kind of footage. That might work.
Whatever you think's best. You're the, this is your place, man. We don't know.
All right. Well, we'll attempt to set up the pict sensor so that it is looping footage from earlier in the day.
Very good. So go ahead and give yourself a tech use, an intelligence test.
Okay. I believe I have tech use as a skill.
You do, and it's a 38 is the target there.
Okay. Well, that didn't go so well.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you put your hands up there and you start fiddling around with the wires and you pull out your implements and accoutrements. You accidentally jerk on one of the wires and pull it out. The entire thing shorts, and then a little blinking red light starts blinking on the front of the camera.
Well,
Engelbart,
that's
what'd you just do?
Well, if you'd given me 2 hours to properly appease the machine spirit and apply the sacred unguents, this
I never
would not
saw
have been a problem.
any sacred anything right there. You just ripped that wire out. That's all you did.
It looks like the machine spirit is very angry.
That is what it looked like to you. Yeah? This is far too complex for your minds to understand the mysteries of the Omnisire. However, we do appear to have a little bit of a problem.
So what did you actually just do? What is the problem here? I understand the blinking red light's not good.
Yeah, yes, that is probably about as far as we should go in explaining the mysteries of the machine spirit. The blinking light is not good. The machine spirit is not pleased. And I would suggest that the security office probably knows that we're here.
Is the lift operational still?
Yes.
Is it how long will it take us to go up?
Oh, to get to the next floor up? It's a 15-minute ride vertically.
I guess that leaves the plan A that we had originally. Mr. Cap, and I know it's not optimal, and maybe we're walking into a trap, but we have to do that now.
Well, it's less likely that we'll walk into a trap that way than we would be this way, stuck in an elevator for 15 minutes. So.
Yeah. Well, if the elevator still works, we should take it, I would imagine, right?
The problem is that they're going to know that we're here for the next 15 minutes, and assuming there are hostile forces up there, they're going to be prepared for us, one would assume.
Is this the only lift here? Is there has to certainly be another lift somewhere.
There are 7 lifts between this floor and the next.
Well,
Or
that's
this
6 more
house,
tries
this
as far
block
as
and-
I'm concerned.
We could take one of the civilian elevators and assume that the heretics would not be audacious enough to attack us in broad daylight.
All right.
How far
Let's
away
give it
is
a
that,
shot.
Jax?
I think it's just right over here, actually.
You're right. There's
right.
a civilian elevator connecting to this major hub that you're sort of just on the edge of. It looks like it's going to arrive in the next 6 minutes.
Sure, let's do that.
All right. So you wait in front of the crowd. As you're waiting, a large crowd of individuals begins gathering by the civilian elevator. Finally, the doors hiss open. A loud chime sounds, and a number of people rush off, and everybody's sort of jostling and bumping themselves to get on. The boarding goes without incident. The doors close. The elevator is a very, very large space. It's currently holding about 80 people, and there's a number of seats all around the outside edges. It's very well lit, and there's a number of picked sensors up on the top of the ceiling. It's obviously well guarded. Jax, you realize that over in the corner, standing and watching the crowd, is one of the local arbitres. It's the gentleman you met yesterday, who you've met before a couple of times. His name is Craig. Okay.
All right, I kind of make my way to him, sifting through the crowd.
He waves at you as you approach. He says, "Oh, hey, Jax, how's it going?"
Good, Craig. How you doing, friend?
You know, these elevator shifts are just so boring.
I hear you on that.
But you know, it's a living, I guess.
We're on our way for Inquisitor duty here, trying to check on the manifest of that ship we were checking out yesterday.
Inquisitor duty.
Yes.
Oh my, wow. Well, do you need any help?
Do you have a Vox channel I could take down or something like that?
Yeah,
Do you need your help?
absolutely. I got a spare. Wait, hang on. He reaches into one of the many pockets on his pants. He pulls one out. It's a small Vox communicator that snaps to your neck, and it registers very quiet vocalizations.
All right, thanks, friend. If we need the local arbitrage to help us out, I may have to call you in. We've already ran into some resistance, but we're on the case ourselves.
Well, wow, that sounds real exciting, Jax. Good luck.
Thank you, and please try to keep this between just the two of us, all right?
Oh yes, absolutely. You wait for a couple of minutes, and the lift slowly shudders to a halt. There's a loud chime that sounds. The doors open, and you step out into a security checkpoint. And you can see just beyond the security checkpoint, there's a number of local arbitres guards standing beside a couple of large vertical machines that they're having everybody pass through. There's a number of picked servitors sort of flying over the crowd, skull servitors just recording with one of their eyes. And beyond, you can see that the area that it breaks into is incredibly wide. It's well paved. The ground is a clean-looking, pretty shiny metal. There's even a large, robust bronze-cast servitor sort of trundling down the center of this passageway, sort of polishing with a big flat pad. And there's a dozen people, or not a dozen, dozens of people moving down this thoroughfare. It runs left to right across your field of vision. You're sort of coming up to this checkpoint that it lets in.
Walk out and hang back, and I say, Engelbart, what do you advise? Do we just proceed as normal, or what do you want?
Well, if they were going to know that we're here, then they would certainly know by now. We have passed no less than 17 picked sensors along the way, so I would suggest that we attempt to proceed as normal, act like nothing is out of the ordinary, and approach the Navigators Guild as would anybody else.
Okay.
Before we do we want to even give up? Do we want to say anything about the Samsonite? Just in case it could be involved?
I think we say as little as possible until we get to our place.
So why are we going to the Navigators Guild? Just so that we're on the same page?
We're looking to get off planet eventually. We need to map out a course or something like that. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Works for me.
Awesome.
Okay.
Jax, you lead the way.
All right.
Very nice. So eventually, I assume you guys get in line and wait, for your turn to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You come up to the front, and one of the local Arbites, he looks at you and he says, "Ah, Arbites, eh? What's your business on the floor?"
We're just looking to map out a course off planet, so we just have to make a stop at the local. Why I don't know why I'm blanking on this word.
Navigator.
The Navigator Guild, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, House Atriclus, huh? Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. I can let you through. You know how to get there, right? It's just down this street, down to the left. There's another, actually, hey, you know what? I got an access card that'll give you access to a service elevator. It'll take you straight up into House Atriclus. You'll come
I
out.
appreciate that.
You'll come out in the Arbites office of the house. So, just let them know why you're there.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate that.
What's your name, buddy?
My name's Jax Romulus, and these are my friends.
That's just fine. He makes a note down on a data slate. He pulls an access key out of his pocket. It looks like a little hunk of metal with a whole bunch of little spires and stuff sticking off of it. He says, "Here, that'll get you into House Atriclus. Just leave it back down at the Arbites sector when you're done, please."
Will do, friend. I appreciate this. Much obliged.
Cool.
We all get through security easily, or is Jax the only one through?
He waves you all through.
Okay.
He says, any friend of Jack's is a friend of mine. Any friend of the Arbites is a friend of ours.
As we walk by, I kind of lean over to Fricks and say, Does your abilities tell you anything about perhaps the intentions here? Are you able to pick up anything?
Unfortunately, no. No, not at this time.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything I can do that can benefit us here.
What are your psychic powers, Fricks?
Right, my psychic powers are Touch of Madness, which is the ability to make someone believe something that is frankly not true. White Noise, which can not only disrupt the ability to sense psychic I think things going on, but also to disrupt technology. And then Sense Presence, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Precognition is what I think Jeff wants, which we do not have.
Okay. Good to know.
And then, as Frick says, I lean over to Engelbart and say, that felt a little bit too easy, or are they just that friendly? I'm not used to people being that forthcoming.
Access to the Navigators Guild is usually highly restricted, even to members of the Arbites. The fact that we were able to simply saunter through is suspicious, to say the least, especially bearing in mind that they will have known that we were, let's just say, tampering with the freight elevator not 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
I don't trust that key card.
Some questioning on that. The fact that it wasn't even mentioned is highly suspicious.
I don't think we should use that key card, Jax.
What if we had the man believe that he is talking to his superior, and you inquire about whether or not he has just sent us into a trap?
The man we just passed? You're going to go back to the security point and make him believe that in the middle of everyone. Is that what you're saying?
No. There's a way we could do this. Let me ask you, Fricks. I'm not familiar with this ability. Would you be able to basically shroud someone in his belief that they are a superior officer, so they could walk up to him and say, "Come over here, I need to talk to you," and then ask these questions?
I will make the fellow who gave you the access key believe that you are his superior officer or a superior officer. I could do this from away from the security checkpoint. At a maximum of 100 meters is what my training has allowed me to do.
I'm all for that, friends. Do you think we should try it?
Before we do that, could I examine the key and see if there's anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah, totally.
Hand it over to him.
Give me a tech use roll at +10.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh man. Yeah, obviously this key has been tampered with. It looks like one of the spires has been bent and twisted a little bit, so maybe it wouldn't work at all. Maybe it would trigger an alarm. Who knows? This key is obviously not what it looks like.
Frankly, I feel we should execute the security officer. He is
I'm
clearly
with
been
Engelbart.
tampering with the blessed machine spirit of this key.
I don't care much about the
That is
machines, but he
extra
just tried to
heretical.
kill us.
Hang on, friends. We gotta tread lightly here. We're not sure what we're stepping into, and we know that there's been some corruption here. We're on the trail of some taint, I do believe. Fricks, how about we go ahead with the plan? I'm going to go over there and interrogate this guy as if I got a plan. I can act this out. I've got an idea.
I warn you, although Eli won't care, I warn you that there is still a risk at us doing this. And with the information that Engelbart has just discovered, we may want to act with just that. I just want to warn you.
Well, I mean, initially they're gonna, at least this guy's gonna think I'm his commanding officer. So I want to go confirm our suspicions before we act. How's that sound?
Jack.
Because we can't just launch into an attack against the Arbitas, right? I mean, that would
just want to warn you.
warn me against what?
Against using my powers.
Jack,
Well,
the
I know
psyker
that it
appears to be
taxes you.
malfunctioning. Should I apply the sacred oils?
I'm like, that Engelbart, let's do that. Can I help you with that?
Fricks, we know you're new to your abilities and you're coming into them, but the only way you can get better at this is if you practice. If you work on it. I've got faith in you.
So this is a psychic power that you would use, Fricks.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Okay, let's do it.
All right. So give me a psychic power test.
All right. So it's a threshold 11.
Yep.
And so what it's 2d10 plus my willpower is 4.
Let me see. We've never cast a psychic power just yet.
So from what I understand, it is whatever my psi rating is how many d10 I get to roll.
Yep.
I now have a 2 psi rating, so it'd be 2d10 plus 4. I need to get above 11, and if I roll a 9, then I have to roll a psychic phenomenon.
Once
I'm going
for
to move
each
as
9
far
you
away
roll.
as I physically can from the psyker at this time.
I'm starting to
can.
back up too.
You can. I'm actually pretty confident at this point. I've got a big-ass grin on my face as I'm about to...
All right, I'll move a little faster then.
Yeah, all right. So
I'm moving real far away.
you guys are moving off down the right of the passage, and Fricks is just sort of around the corner. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, I want to clearly be out of view as well doing this. So
Very cool.
all right. So roll
2d10 plus 4.
So what's a good roll here before you do this?
anything
11
above
plus.
11, buddy,
Anything above 11.
and preferably no 9s.
Yep, 9's a
It will
bad.
show the individual rolls, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it will.
Oh shit!
So that's not too bad because it was successful. However, Steven, that means now something happens, right?
That means that would you please, sir, roll 1d100?
As this is well, we wouldn't see anything happen right now just yet, right, Steven?
No, not just yet.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm hiding behind a bulkhead, so I don't see anything.
I'm right next to TB, and I'm like, Fricks walked into my fucking bunk this morning. She told me to be wary of the terrors of the dark. I don't trust this fucking psyker more than
Did
anything
you
in the world.
engage in coitus in the name of the
You
Emperor?
know what?
I would never touch
I would just
that.
like to point out, if you don't trust me right now, then that means that you must have some sort of idea that the...
You're nowhere near me. You're fucking dealing with demons right now.
All right, ready? I'm going to roll 1d100. God damn it. Spare below. Okay.
35. Okay. Oh my god, wow.
That's not good.
No, No,
It's
not.
or breath leech.
It's not
Everyone, including the psyker, becomes short of breath for a round and cannot make any run or charge actions. And that affects a number of people at the security checkpoint. You just see like a couple people start clutching their chest and like breathing a little harder. It looks like they're pretty uncomfortable.
As a low smoker, I am totally great. I'm like, all right. I go, are we good? Are we good here, Fricks? Can I go forward?
Roll
with
for
this?
lung cancer.
It was successful.
All right.
Yeah,
Unless there's some sort of a willpower test, I think.
he gets a willpower test to resist your attempt to.
There's also overbleed, right?
Only if you're 10 over, which
10
are
over,
9
damn.
over. So let's see.
6.
Nice. We're rolling good today.
Well, in theory, this shouldn't really matter anyway, since hopefully, since it was successful, we're not going to be shooting any time in the next 5 seconds.
Oh, sorry, Jeff. It's not you who gets the willpower to resist. It's the target of the power. But hang on, I need to take a quick break. Maybe it'd be a good time to pause for 3 minutes, and then we'll see what happens with the roll when we come back.
Cool. We can take a quick 3-minute break. So, guys, we're going to do just that. When we come back, we will figure out what is going on here as we head into Dark Heresy Hour number 2. We'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.